One of the best way to start something is to start something that is real with you. And this is one of the reasons why I like the idea of thinking of starting something in YouTube with the idea of it's a platform to tell your story. And a story is something that has taken place in your life because you, number one, you decided you want to do something, maybe a change, lose weight, maybe gain weight, maybe health reasons, maybe a healthy routine, eating good, maybe starting a plantation. Everything that you start with an intention of making it something that will continue has a story to begin with, and you can tell that story a lot more with a lot more animation than just telling an idea. But you can tell a story of how you started something, and YouTube has an audience that people are from all over the world that are looking for how how they can get some help from people who just started or has a story that is about them starting off on something. I uh, I have taken the time to reflect and review on this because, to me, I I have another side of my life that I have been a teacher, a preacher, and a trainer, and so I have a lot of information that I can give. But I feel like the way that we can really make YouTube friendly to people and to you and me so that we can have a good head start is to start from the standpoint of if you have started something already and you feel like you can go back and review what you did, how you did it, and what were the results, and how those results are impacting you on an ongoing basis, you have a story to tell. And that one story can build into other stories because as you review and reflect on what how your initial story helped you, it can also give you the courage to again, if you did it once, you can do it again. And that means that you can apply the discipline into any area that is in front of you. You can apply it into a starting a new career. You can apply it into starting a new project, maybe writing a book, maybe even doing YouTube is, is something that you can reflect on what you did with that original story. And maybe it's not the same skill set that you need to apply, but you're bringing the intention and the motivation and what gave you the courage to take one step at a time towards a very good path for the future. And that's what I mean when I say you tell your story. You look at what you have accomplished that you're very proud of and are very happy that you did. And then you retell what happened in the beginning, what made you think about this, or what has caused the story to be alive in you, and then you begin to do that. I have a story that I mentioned, and I have a story regarding my initial start in what I do with Christian ministry as a missionary, and that story started with my background. I have a story that talks about a video that talks about raised by my grandparents, and my grandmother was a witch doctor. That's a real story of what happened to me. But what happened from that story, I have applied the same principles into different disciplines, different arenas, different skill set. But I have used the same principle of how I started that story and what it took to take courage to do the next thing that is in front of you. So a story does not have to be a complicated thing to go over. It's just a story of how you started something that you now have the benefit of having started it or started something. Um, so this is one of the reasons why it's so important. I think sometimes we make it too complicated and too sophisticated that we forget the reason why we're doing it. And I try to do that myself. Believe me, my first couple of videos, I try to be somebody else. I try to do something. But there was one thing that my heart longs for, was the authenticity of how I approach each change. Because each change requires the makeup of a new story. And whatever you decide that you want to do now for your next improvement, there is a story there that is yours. And when you review how you arrived there, what you thought about, where you got the courage to start, and the first step, and the second step, the third step, and then you review the benefit of where that is. That's what we call a story, and that's how a story can be used to build upon something else. This is even how the story is enabling people who are listening to you telling your story, that they are looking for specific steps, how you take the steps. What happened to you in your heart when you were taking those steps? Is it authentic? Is it for real? And what were the examples that they can use from your stories, that when they face their own challenge, they're going to remember that you said that this is what happened to you, and that will give them the courage to do the things that is required for them to create their own start and create their own story that they will later on be telling. And, I have a lot of those kind of stories for myself, because my story happened with my experience in my little hut in the islands. But I can tell you that there have been times I have helped in my story with people in some sophisticated cities, whether it is in Hong Kong, whether it's in South Africa, in Pretoria, whether it is in New York City, in New York, or LA in California, or Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii. That story that you started with, as small as it is, when it is told clearly and specifically on the steps. And you and I, that's the reason why telling a story is not hard if it is yours. If it's something that you've legitimately participated in and have started, has a middle, and then has an end. And now you have the benefit of telling the whole beginning, middle, and end to somebody. And in this case, you can tell it on your camera, and your camera will record it, set it up, and then you can upload it on YouTube, which will then spread it around the world. It's a very interesting time and season that we're living in. I hope it lasts a long time, but I'm not sure. I am very sure of this, that I will give my best for the next 11 months to just tell the story, and some of the stories, because your story is the beginning of somebody else's story. And when you participate in that kind of chain reaction that happens because of your story, you'll be motivated, you'll be encouraged. You will also realize that you have a place to impact in the world today. So there's a scripture in the Bible that says, don't look down on the days of small beginnings, because small beginnings, when it is done right, and there is a story that happens to be in the middle of that, and that is a story that will already be used for many more days and many more years to come, that you can tell it, and other people are going to take the rippling effect of, number one, the value of your commitment, the value of your time, and the value of your energy, and the value of your wisdom that is being applied in this story. So never take it for granted that you don't have anything to offer, because you have a lot to offer. The world is looking for someone who can help them along the way with where they are. And this is a very good thing to do. By the way, this is Soseni Le'au. I do my missionary work as a volunteer work, and it's part of my joy to impact, to share, because it's really me sharing to you how I live, what I live, and how I am helping other people. My job is, and my focus is to help impact you, give you the courage through the words that I say and through the little description of my own story in little ways to help you along the way as you consider that please don't leave this world in a small, peaceful way. Leave this world with a loud bang. A loud bang. 73-year-old missionary in Utah with double amputee, and I'm still going to shake this world up with YouTube. And you can do the same. By the way, this is Soseni Le'au. If you like what I'm sharing with you and you feel like you need to help me, I would really appreciate. You can buy me a cup of coffee. You can go to my homepage, and there's a place there that you can click to help me support what I do. All right? Thank you. This is Soseni. Subscribe, like, and share the video with your friends. That way we can make sure that you are informed every time a new video is uploaded. All right? Thank you very much. Bye-bye for now.